Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Today we will put some lights on the topic problems of universalization of elementary education. Dear students, this presentation is for class 11th. My dear students, in the previous lecture we talked about the concept of universalization of elementary education, and you must be aware about the concept, and you must be having good understanding now that what does this universalization of elementary education, uh, what does it mean, what are its dimensions and aspects, and what is its scope, etc. Dear students, as you know, or we must be aware that there are different social factors, economic factors, educational factors in our countries, or particularly in India, that is the root cause for the what I should say, that is the root cause for creating problems in the universalization of this elementary education. Let me say that I think the most importantly I should say that illiteracy of parents is the one of the cause, one of the factor that is a kind of sort of obstacle in expanding this sort of education. And dear students, in our country, early marriage is one of the reason that the families of Orthodox culture, they are not what I should say, they are not stressing their that their children should take admissions in different schools. Most importantly, this Orthodox view about girl education. This is the most important reason that this sort of education is not in what I should say in a direction to go up. There's not existence of this backward classes, backward group. This kind of this backwardness is also the factor that the sort of people, different kinds of people, different cultures of people are not in a position to make admissions of their children in different schools. Their students, one of the reason that I want to mention, that is the population explosion. This population explosion is also one of the root cause for this very problem, because their students, once there is the increase in population, that the sort of facilities that government should provide, they are not able to provide the and the privilege the different sort of these facilities in different schools, because once there is population explosion, schools are also getting increased, and due to the mess of these schools, the government is not in a position to provide the facilities, different kind of facilities. Their students, as I should stress that poverty of this parent, or poverty of families, poverty of parents is one main cause that there is the kind of what I should say, denunciation of this primary universalization of primary education. Dear students, these were the social factors. And let me say that there is one more aspect, that is the economic cause. This economic cause has also played a role in decreasing the role of these students in primary schools, because families are poor, parents are poor. So this what I should say, this sort of problem in the families, in different what I should say, houses, the family members of that very families are not in a position that they had in their mind is that the children of these what should say, these homes, these families will just try to live their lives, had to search the labor work, had to search the kind of jobs in order to fulfill the basic necessities of their families. Their students, there are different educational causes as well, that or the sort of obstacle in what I should say, flourishing this primary education as well. There are different narrow objectives found in different institutions due to because of these narrow objectives, that there these the facilities, narrow objectives, narrow understanding is not fulfilling the target of these institutions, so it loses a kind of a sort of scope as well. There's the dull curricula, the dull curriculum that is found in these institutions. This very particular curriculum is not in a decency, I should say. This very particular curriculum or runway is not fulfilling the criteria, so that the people of different families feel that is the sort of, what I should say, is sort of this weakness, that were admitting the children of families in these institutions. So one is this dull curricula, or I should say the inadequate method of teaching. Sometimes the inadequate method of teaching in different institutions become the reason and cause for decreasing the role of these institutions. Even I should say the poor school environment. The environment is not feasible. Is not up to the mark of families, up to the mark of these children. That is why it gets decreased. Its scope gets decreased day by day. And most importantly, I should say the lack of research. The lack of research should be like research work in the field of elementary education has not been given due attention. Very little research has been done so far. That's why the kind of wastages, stagnation is are there in these institutions. There's not the quality of the quality education is not well, I should say. I think these are sufficient, what I should say, sufficient things to mention that why there is a sort of problem prevailing in these primary and elementary institutions, and why there is a kind of gap, or I should say the kind of decreasing sense of this universalization of elementary education. That's not in the future, and in the coming lectures we will talk about some other aspects of this universalization of elementary education, inshallah. Thank you.